Hello guys, this is Deb from Christian Topics, and today we are reviewing You Can Change by Tim Chester. So what would you like to change? There's a lot of things that you might want to change about yourself, a lot of negative things, a lot of things that are holding you back. And we're just going to discuss that, and also at the same time, we're going to discuss how Tim Chester does that. So Tim talks about the fact that some changes are good and some are bad. And he says that the issue is that we aren't being ambitious enough in the change that we want to make. And I feel like often we say, I want to do this and we don't, but we don't do it. We don't do it. And why don't we do it? I do not know. So we are created in God's image, as scripture says. We are made to reflect his glory. We are representatives on earth, like his representatives. And so the importance of this message is that we are supposed to live like Jesus, live like God, because we are representing him and we're displaying his glory and displaying his likeness. And there is a part where it says you can't make the excuse that you're only human. We're truly human as we reflect God's glory. You know, we say, I'm only human, I can't do this. You're only human, I'm only human, making mistakes. It's an excuse. But it's an excuse we shouldn't make. And so there's the broken image, the fact that we fall short, and that is truth, and we should accept it. And we have failed to be images of God because of sin. But the true image is Jesus. Jesus has shown us how to be like God. Although the difference is he is God, and we will never be like God. And so we need to humble ourselves and have that humility. And so Jesus shows us God's agenda for change. That God doesn't want us to be religious. God doesn't want us to be detached or self-absorbed. And so we shouldn't focus on ourselves. We should focus on Jesus. God wishes for us to be set apart, to be consecrated. And this is how we become the images of God. The thing is, I am enjoying this book, the first chapter, because it is motivating you to change. I recommend it if you are going through a difficult time. The book makes it clear that for you to be bearing the image of God, you should have the understanding that originally you have that broken image. But the true image is in Jesus. Now, we need to be recreated. We need to be born again. We need to be that new creation. Jesus is the second Adam. And we're no longer like Adam because Jesus took the place of Adam, took the place of sin. He rescued us. He redeemed us. And so Jesus now has entered our DNA. We've been recreated. We've been remade. And so the next point is seeing glory and reflecting the glory of God. This book mentions the fact that Moses saw the glory of God, and this is idea of fear. The people feared the glory. But why should you fear? You need to have reverence. You need to respect that is holy ground that you're standing on or sitting on, and just worship and get on your knees. But don't let fear and the law hold you back. And that is an important. We need to focus on holiness. We need to focus on reading the word and worshiping God and prayer. We need to focus on Jesus. And so when we turn to God, we become more like him because we're engaging with him, because we're having a relationship with him. And that is what's so important. And don't be discouraged. One day we'll be glorified. Don't crave perfectionism. You'll never get it. Remember and be humbled. And don't settle for less, though. Dream big. As long as it's in God's will, dream big. Don't settle for less. God has a plan for you. And remember, sanctification. Be set apart. You're not part of this world. You might be in the world, but you're not of it. And so when it comes to change, it is about the small acts. It's about the little things that eventually build up. Tim Chester's first chapter is very engaging. It is good for people that are feeling kind of hopeless. It is good for people that need encouragement. It is good for someone that is already in a good mood. Because we all need a little push to do more, to, be more active in our faith. And so I would definitely recommend this to everyone.
So I think like everyone needs that push to do more in church, and not to get overwhelmed. That's not what I'm saying, but like to truly make change and be changed by God. We need that inward change. So yeah, and I will kind of go to the reflections where you'll see my face in just a second. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed the overview of the book that we're doing. It's our first book review, first book that we're going through, but don't worry, there'll be many more to come. So let's just discuss. So the reflection, let's just go through the reflection. Now I recommend you get this book. You can change. You can change if you read this book. You can change if you read the Bible. That's the number one book that you need. So it says to think of specific people you consider to be Christ-like. So we'll do this together. So think of a person that you consider to be Christ-like. I can think of my friends. I can think of my great friend Grace, my great friend Milana. You just think of people in your head, right? What is about them that makes them like Jesus? Well, they're very encouraging in faith. They are very honest. And they will correct you if you're wrong. If they'll correct you if you do something sinful. They'll correct you if you are thinking of doing something that's a little bit controversial. What is about them that's attractive? Their fire for the Lord. I would say so. Obviously, while you do this by yourself, do this like for longer, deeper. Just truly reflect. Well, that's what's called the reflection. What happened in their life to make them the people that they are? And what do they think about themselves? What do they think about Jesus? Question 2. If anyone would come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross, follow me. The service, submission, and suffering seen in the cross are the special marks of what it means to be like Jesus. How does the New Testament apply this to our attitude to other Christians, cultural influences and peer pressure, those in need, our spouse suffering sin? So, I would say it just draws you to really serve God, because that's what it means to deny yourself. And peer pressure, often, you know, peers want us to go partying, to drink, to get drunk, but if it doesn't honor God, don't do it. So what would you like to change? Think of an area you'd like to change. It might be a type of behavior such as lying, lust, overeating, excessive spending, or inappropriate relationships. Or an emotion, for example, depression, envy, anxiety, greed, or anger. There's a lot of things really there that we can really think about. It might be a Christian virtue, fruit of the spirit that you feel is particularly lacking in your life. Like, for example, patience is a hard thing, isn't it? Is your change project about changing your behavior or emotions? It's no good choosing change in someone else. I know what that's like. Like, you know, when you are like being a bit selfish and you're kind of like, oh, I want to change this and this and this and this and this about this person. You can't choose better behaved children or better marriage. You must choose something about you, such as shouting at my children or getting irritated at my spouse. Is your change about something specific? Try and choose something too general, like being a better parent. Pick a specific area, behavior, or emotion specific enough for you to be able to remember the last time you did or felt it. Sorry, I'm going quite fast. What does it mean for you to be more like Jesus? You may have thought about the negative behavior and the emotions you would like to change. What's the positive side? Describe the goal of your change project. How would Jesus behave or think in your situation? Can you think of any stories or teaching Jesus that illustrate what you should be like? I would say just go to the gospel. If you want to give an example, like, you know, with the adulterous woman, he didn't, you know, judge her. He told her, he corrected and he was like, can you convict her? He said, sin no more. But he didn't throw those stones, you know? So there's a difference. You have to tell people, don't sin, stop sinning. But don't be like, you're an awful person, you can't get back, you know? I think this book has been really interesting. Bear in mind, I've only read the chapter, but I'm going to be doing them. There's 10 chapters, I'm going to be reading all of them. I think it does motivate me to get up and do videos. It motivates me because the thing about change is the things that you don't like about yourselves. And so I want to change things that, like, my tiredness, some laziness aspects, just to be more caring and involved in the community. Like, I want to change that, and you just have to go to Christ and see how he was involved in the community. So I hope this book review was interesting and beneficial to you guys. God bless.